Sacramento urban heat islands. In most large cities, there are rural areas, urban areas, and suburban areas. Urban heat islands, also referred to as UHIs, are urban and suburban areas that experience higher temperatures than rural areas. Rural areas and suburban areas feature wooden homes surrounded by trees, shrubs, and grass. Urban areas feature tall, heat-capturing concrete and steel structures, surrounded by more concrete and asphalt. Urban airflow is limited, and greenery is barely existent among the cluster of heat-radiating buildings. The heat island effect is enhanced by commercial activity and vehicle traffic, which further increases area temperatures and reduces air quality for city residents. High heat has been responsible for more deaths over the last 30 years than any other type of natural disaster in California. Heat maps and local temperature maps identify the hardest hit UHI areas of Sacramento as downtown, Del Paso Heights, and North Sacramento. While Sacramento suburbs summer temperatures hit 101 degrees, Del Paso Heights can get temperatures of 115 degrees. This peak temp in DPH is hotter than Baghdad, Iraq. UHI problems have a higher impact on marginalized communities, including the impoverished, people of color, and the elderly. The goal of Sacramento leadership is to achieve more effective protection for all Sacramento residents, especially lower-income families, African American and Hispanic communities, the elderly, and homeless living in UHI areas. Environmental and health impacts. Increased energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions result in higher temperatures and promote climate change. The overall UHI effect on vulnerable communities increase heat-related illnesses, respiratory illnesses, and cardiovascular illnesses. The elderly, children, and people with chronic illnesses exposed to higher temperatures are more likely to suffer from dehydration, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. Susceptible UHI residents experience a greater risk of respiratory illnesses, including asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory diseases. Elevated temperatures increase the likelihood of cardiovascular illnesses such as heart attacks, strokes, and hypertension. Sacramento local and state agencies have collaborated with federal agencies to resolve urban heat island problems. Many federal agencies provide federal grants supporting green infrastructure projects to improve urban planning, urban forestry, cooling roofs, and cooling pavements. However, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is currently the only agency with programs specifically targeting UHI-related problems. The EPA actively collaborates with local government, community organizations, and other stakeholders, providing technical assistance, conducting research, and offering guidance to develop and implement UHI reduction strategies. With their help, local and state agency programs are using the aggregate effect of combined tactics to reduce temperatures in urban heat island areas. Programs reducing the temperature in UHIs include cool roof and green roof installation on buildings, which absorb less solar energy and reduce the surface temperature by approximately 3 degrees. Cool pavement surface applications, which absorb less solar energy and reduce surface temperatures by approximately 20 degrees. Urban forestry projects to increase the number of trees and shrubbery, which can reduce UHI temperatures from 4 to 14 degrees. Opening cooling centers during heat waves and offering motel sheltering to provide life-saving shelter for the homeless. These programs have been touted for their overall effectiveness. However, their effectiveness of these programs, such as cooling centers, is limited time and time again by lack of awareness and lack of transportation. This causes expensive cooling centers to routinely operate way below capacity. Furthermore, projects like cool roofs, cool pavements, and urban forestry should be applied to suburban UHIs as well. The more these methods are implemented, the more they will become the norm in neighborhood planning and bring down the overall cost. Take action. Get involved. Support policymakers. Advocate for policies that prioritize UHI mitigation strategies, such as greening initiatives, building regulations that promote energy efficiency and cool materials, and equitable access to green spaces. Support local and regional policies that address environmental justice and reduce disparities in UHI impacted neighborhoods. Support community projects. Each individual has the power to make the difference. Advocate for sustainable and resilient communities, support initiatives that prioritize UHI mitigation, and engage with local decision makers to prioritize UHIs on the environmental agenda. Raise awareness. Spread the word about UHIs and their consequences by sharing information through community events, social media, educational programs, and local media outlets. Encourage conversations and knowledge sharing to build broader understanding of the UHIs and their solutions. Individuals who support grassroots efforts and local government UHI programs can make all the difference in the lives of marginalized communities. Make an impact. Help ease the suffering of those trapped in urban heat islands.